Hey guys, it's Fat Cat Scooter Glen here with a how to buy a scooter on Craigslist. These are just my tips and tricks. They're my opinion. What works for me may not work for you, but I bought many scooters and sold many scooters through Craigslist. Hey, I'm starting on this main page of Craigslist. To point out something. I'm going to be looking in the Phoenix area to get started here. I wanted to point out, when you're looking around, especially if you have access to a trailer. U-Haul has a great small motorcycle trailer. Don't be afraid to look in towns nearby, even states nearby. So here in the Southwest, Albuquerque's a few hours away. Flagstaff's just a couple hours. Las Vegas, 5 hours. Los Angeles is 6 hours. Orange County, San Diego. I have gone to some of these places, Yuma, and Tucson's very close, and actually purchase bikes. So just keep that in mind. What I like to do, obviously, is go to the motorcycle section. It used to say motorcycles and scooters, but they just changed that. I don't deal with anything else here except buy owner only. That's it. I don't want to deal with dealer listings, and dealers sneak their stuff in here. And then I'm just gonna, for giggles, I'm just gonna type in the scooter here, so we have some up on the screen as we're looking at this. But let's start over here on the left. Again, I talked about I only go to owners. There's not too much in this area that I really worry about. I really don't worry about miles from the zip. You can if you want. I don't worry about the prices because half the time people put zeros in there. Displacement, a lot of times they don't know what it is. But there may actually be a good bike in here that you missed because someone either put the information in wrong or they missed it. But something big here is this title status. I tend to look for clean only. Now, for the purpose of what we're doing, I won't, but when I'm searching for myself, I don't want any of this. If you're looking for a cheap bike and you want to look at rebuild or salvage, go ahead, but we'll send salvage bikes in here and they won't list it, and I don't really like when they do that, but you need to be aware of it. Scooters get salvage titles more times than you'll believe, and no insurance company for the most part is going to spend the money to fix it. They're just going to write it off. So a lot of salvage out there. Okay, let's get moving. So I typed in scooters, and I just want to show you an example of what I think is a very good ad. This is a Honda PCH 150. I like a few things here. The picture is very clean. There's 8 pictures, and he's not trying to sell too hard. It doesn't have strange wording in here, Best Buy of the century or anything. Okay, continuing on, you can see there's quite a few pictures in here. If I open this up, he's doing what I think is right. Great pictures, all different angles, and what I like best about this is there's a little bit of damage. Took a picture of it, highlighted it, isn't trying to hide it. Also like he took a picture of the odometer, right? And the odometer matches very closely to what he has listed here. Everything's filled out, good job. He doesn't have too much written here. I should mention, when you start seeing paragraphs and paragraphs, maybe people copying and pasting, that's one thing, from a website, maybe the manufacturer website. But when they start selling you hard, I've done this, I've done that, I've changed the brakes, I've treated it like a baby and only rode it on Sundays. To me, there's that becomes fishy. That's just to me. So I like just enough information. And again, he listed all here very clearly. Clean title, maintenance done. This is a big bit of information about this person to me, because they list that there is a rip, and that's important. I want to mention that if I were to go and look at the scooter or buy it, I would ask, hey, those maintenance records you mentioned online, I'd like to see them. Now I'm going to go down here to what I think is not such a good listing at the bottom of this page. And again, this may not be a scooter I'd be interested in anyway, but first thing that stands out, it's strangely written. The dollar sign's backwards. There's very little written, but might be good for somebody. But there's only 3 pictures. I like to see at least 4 at a minimum, and they're all in the dark. And again, it is what it is, but you'll find Vespas, you'll find Kimcos, you'll find Sims that look, wow, they could be in good condition, but they're in the dark. I wonder why. If they're not taking them out, bringing them out in the sunshine, I just move on. Again, I think he's not making any false claims here. It is what it is. But generally, if the title's a little strange, if the pictures are a little strange, it's a little strange for me. I'm going to pass. So if I want to look at a Vespa, If I type in VESPA, I've been looking at this page earlier. A couple things stand out here. This one person here is pasting the same ad over and over and over and over. And I know that this particular scooter's been listed for a while. That's a sign to me that maybe something's wrong. When I look at this heritage listing here, and they put VESPA style, me as a very experienced, or at least somewhat experienced person and running a scooter club, you know, I know that that's probably a Chinese or knockoff, but a lot of people aren't going to know that, and you got to really make sure you know who the manufacturers are if you're not familiar with these. So be skeptical if there's a lot of ads posted. Doesn't mean it's bad, just be a little skeptical. And if they say style, or if it's not what it is, you know, contact someone like me, or contact someone in your local scooter club to make sure it is what it is. Obviously, this is not a VESPA here, and it says VESPA. To me, I don't like when they do something like that. When it says no title, I run away. What I want to point out is I wrote VESPA here, and then the parent company is Piaggio. If I type Piaggio, you're going to notice, like, this is the same bike there. You're going to see some new scooters here, and vice versa. I may find some Vespas in here that weren't in the page when I typed in VESPA, and I find some Piaggios in the page where I did search VESPA, and vice versa. So if you're looking for a specific bike, like a Bergman, you may want to type in Suzuki scooter. And with a word like Bergman, you're going to have some people that spell it with an EN and some people that spell it with an AN. People misspell it all the time. I've done it. And you can miss out on some good bikes. Craigslist is not perfect, and sometimes you gotta play around with the names to really find all the bikes that are listed. It's just a little nuance that I found. This gallery here, you can't look at these by a list. You can look at them by thumbnails, but the way I like to look myself is by the gallery. I think you get the best pictures and get enough text. I think the map is kind of worthless. Most people don't put in the correct address anyway. So okay, I did want to mention time of year. So right now, if I type in VESPA as I did before, there's a lot of Vespas listed. I don't know if you can see some of these dates, but we got November and December dates. If I went back 2 months ago, 3 months ago, here in the Southwest, when it was 100 degrees, there were only 2 Vespas listed. Now, obviously, this is the season, so you will find more bikes listed. Doesn't mean you're going to pay more or pay less. I think when it's more competitive, you have a better chance of negotiating a better price. If you go to Craigslist and go back to the main page and you go to some place, let's say New Jersey, and we'll go to Central Jersey, and we'll go to motorcycles there and buy owner, and then we paste, type in the word VESPA there. So we'll see 3 bikes here listed. So this is one of the most densely populated states in the country, and of course it's kind of off season right now. So we're seeing only 3 Vespas for sale. It's middle of winter there. So just keep in mind the time of year that you're doing this will affect how many bikes you see. I wanted to mention something else. About 5 minutes ago I was looking at this very page, and this bike wasn't there a few minutes ago. Yet it was posted 2 months ago. I guess my point with this is Craigslist is not an exact science. Sometimes you just need to refresh. Sometimes you need to come back a little bit later. Sometimes you need to use different words. You know, try and use common sense. Use sources, as I mentioned, like people in your local scooter club. Don't be afraid to talk to dealers. Become friends with people you know who have scooters. But when you are shopping for a scooter, if you decide something you like, I suggest you do it when you have cash, when you're ready to buy. I found that people that have bikes that are very scratched up will say they're only a little scratched up. People that have bikes are only a little scratched up will say they're not scratched up at all. So I like to tell people, please don't waste your time and my time. I'm very particular. If it has any scratches, I'm not interested. Now, again, that may not be what you're looking for. I also like to be very polite with everyone I deal with. If I deal with someone rude, I just kind of move on. If they're getting junk emails emails about things. I know they're getting junk texts and they're getting calls wasting their time, asking if they can loan for things. Be professional, be direct, be polite. The trick that I do is if it's a local bike, I will actually ride my scooter. If you have one, and I tend to always have a scooter, I will actually ride my scooter to that person's house, and it tells them right away. It levels the playing field and lets them know, hey, this guy knows about scooters. So just a little trick that I do. It's helped me a lot with negotiating, and also find that other scooter people tend to be a little nicer to people that have scooters, and it's helped me actually save a lot of money. Well, I hope this helps. I'm sure other people have tips that they'd like to share, or correct me on anything that may have been wrong on. And please like this post, make your comments below. I'd really like to hear feedback, and wish you luck on shopping for scooters. If there's anything I can help you with, feel free to reach out to me. Again, it's Glenn with Fat Cat Scooter. Take care.